Hi guys, this is Kathy Pinkowski.
Hi.
She's the instructional technologist for Alverno and a good buddy of mine and a fellow grad of the MA program, so she has been where you are. And one of the things that is part of her job is looking for really cool resources that the faculty and students of Alverno could use. Yesterday, she let me know about a tool called Pearltrees, where you can, basically it's an online concept webbing like inspiration, like I was telling you about in class. However, it works with bookmarks. So what I want to do is work through this with Kathy, and she can correct me if I'm wrong because I just learned how to do this yesterday. But it's a free tool, yeah?
Yeah, it's absolutely free.
How are they making any money?
I'm not sure at this point. I haven't looked into it, but I've been using it myself because I can't organize my bookmarks very well. I've always had problems with that, and this is idea mapping with bookmarks. Been using it a lot.
And anything that has an address on the web.
Anything that has an address on the web, you can bookmark.
Including, as we found out, so YouTube videos, websites, or full text PDFs that you found in the library databases.
Yes.
So let's say, for example, and you can sign up for Pearltrees, and then you so it's pearltrees.com. All right.
Yes.
And then once you have a Pearltree, I have a main account over here, and then I made another Pearltree here. I'm going to add some pearls to it that are the names of my themes for my research right now. So let's say that I'm Jane. Okay, so I'm going to have one that's kindergarten mathematics curriculum, let's say. All right, I'm going to add that one. Okay, then I'm going to go back to my main one, and I'm going to add another one that's going to be guided play in early elementary settings, let's say. Okay, then I'm going to go back to my main one, and let's see, let's say that the third is developing geometric thinking. All right. So what I want to show you is, let's just say I'm going to open up a tab here, and that one of the things that I want to talk about is, let's see, I'm just going to see if I can find like NCTM, the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics. Okay. So, wow, this is interesting. I was hoping just to find, let's see, NCTM. So here's the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics, nctm.org. If I were going to search in here for geometry, now this isn't going to be a scholarly source. Ooh, look at that. Wait, hold on. Look. So, developing essential understanding in geometry. So let's just say, teaching mathematics, where's the geometry one? Here we are. Ooh, that's grades 6 to 8. Phooey. Let's see. Well, let's just say that this was, this is a PDF, but let's say that here's the website, okay? So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to my Pearltree, and one of my pearls I am going to add is a web page here,
and make
right?
Sure,
Am I
yes,
right so far?
And make sure to switch it to web page. What I see, what I did a lot when I first started is I accidentally selected just Pearltree rather than web page.
Oh, okay.
That's not a link.
Got it.
So make sure to do web
So
page.
what's nice is that I can then be, finding different resources for developing geometric thinking. So if I go here, and let's say, if I go here, can I expand this so I can see them from this main one? Yes, I can. Okay, good. So let's say that I wanted to add another pearl, and I'm going to go through the database now. Just like we saw with Jeff, I'm going to go into education. For my purposes now, I'm going to go into Eric, and I'm going to use my advanced search, and I'm going to say geometry and, geometry. Okay, and kindergarten. Okay, let's just see what we find there. And then I want full text and peer-reviewed. All right? You should be with me so far because this is very similar to what what he found. So let's say kindergarten children's sensitivity to geometry in maps. All right, here is my PDF full text. Check this out. So exciting, okay? So either I can, well, I don't want to actually download, but if I go here to download PDF, it's gonna, all right.
Actually, I think you could just
Is
grab
it just this page?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, we get by with a little help from our friends. So I'm gonna copy this URL. I'm gonna go back to my Pearltree here, and then I am going to do a new Pearl that's a web page. All right, there is my Pearl.
And I always...
and then I could rename it, right?
Rename it, yeah.
So let's say this one is, what was it about? It was about kindergarten children's sensitivity to geometry and maps. So let's say I go here and I'm just going to say, I'm going to rename it.
Goes up to the top left where the star is.
Okay.
Or you can just click in
Can
there.
I click and type
Mhm.
here?
Yep.
Okay.
You don't even have to right click.
Geometry and maps. Okay. Now I could also add a note. I could say, so this is where I could maybe draft some of these things about my thinking, right?
Right.
So one of the things that that I'm noticing is that the official geometry curriculum doesn't begin until later, although recognizing shapes in kindergarten is an essential precondition for later geometric thinking, let's say. Jane, I'm just making this up. And then this could be sort of, I could call this tension between early geometry and official geometry. This might eventually end up being a sub-theme, okay? So what's cool about this is that, let's say this is one example. So you could say, for example, that the NCTM doesn't have essential conditions for, developing essential understanding of geometry for teaching mathematics in grades 6 to 8, might be an example of this tension, right? Can I do that?
So lots of dragging and dropping.
Right. So I can rearrange these kinds of things. So eventually what I'm thinking is that this might allow you to both track your resources so that you could then follow this back or follow this source. All right. So if I click here, then it's going to prompt me to log in. So that's fine. Let's see. Actually, I'll quit there. But, you can log into your library barcode and then your PIN, and then it'll get you into that particular
And another thing I wanted to say is once you go into something like, just go into anything, geometry and maps, be aware, there's sometimes I don't want to view it in this Pearltrees viewer.
Okay.
So you can click this button, Desiree's clicking, and it'll pop it out to its own tab. So you're out of Pearltrees then. Because sometimes you really are not going to want to be in Pearltrees once you've found
So if I go back to my Pearltree here, and let's say I wanted to go to that ebook page, it's going to open up there.
Yes.
But yeah, here I am at the top. I'm still in Pearltrees. So let's say, and if I grab this, for example, that's going to be the wrong URL for my APA formatted resources.
Absolutely wrong, yes,
right.
because it's in Pearltrees.
So I would need to find this. If this is a source,
Right.
then I'm going to say, this is my electronic resource retrieved September 13th, 2012 from blah, blah, blah. Right? So what else is exciting to you about when you think about the action research sequence for the MA program, having gone through it yourself?
Well, one thing I like about this is these are public. If you click this, you can team up with colleagues. So your peers, for instance, or people who teach with you, etc., might have some really great resources that they would like to add to your tree.
Right, so the two of you actually, so if we think about the folks who are looking at engagement and homework and the connection, so Liz and Sarah, and other Sarah for that matter, so we've got some folks who are interested in this connection between home and school. If you team up with each other's Pearltrees and share them, then you can drag resources. So I'll show you for a second. It's kind of like friending, right?
Yes.
So if I go through Pearltree and I'm going to find Kathy's account, which is Alverno Hybrid, and she's got a lot of resources on technology-supported learning and so on. So here's Kathy, okay? I'm going to drag her down, and there she is, actually. She's already there. But if I then... This is like my dock, right?
Yeah, it's your dock. It's kind of like your waiting location.
Right.
When I find a pearl, because you can search everyone else's pearls by clicking, if you could go up there, click related interests.
Okay.
I love that because you're going to find other people who are researching the same things you are, and you can start following them.
So could I do like, if I found let's say developing geometric thinking, and then I did related interests.
Right. No. Oh, hey. Okay. So
oh, cool.
Right. And so you can imagine.
So let's say this dude.
This guy.
Right. So this dude. What are his? All right. So he's got. Oh my goodness. So all right. So triply periodic minimal surfaces. Let's say, that's something that is really interesting to me. I'm going to put it down here in my dock temporarily. I'm going to go back home. I'm going to go into my. Developing geometric thinking, and where did I put it? Here it is. And I can drag it right here.
Yep.
That's cool. Now if I decide
if you want to, or...
now he's going to get a notification that I did that, right?
Yes.
Okay, which is fine. But I'm actually just doing this as a fake, so I'm going to just trash that here. Now, cool thing, also works on smartphone.
Yes.
Can you hold up your smartphone to show us what it looks like?
Yeah, let's see if I can fire it up here.
iPad as well.
Yep. So obviously it's a free app, and I can navigate through just like I would. Whoop. Oh, and it's telling me I can invite you.
Yeah.
And I can navigate through and actually look at my resources, even add more resources to my Pearltrees right through my smartphone, which I use.
That would then show up here.
Yes, which I use quite a bit when I'm, for instance, reviewing for a class.
Right.
And I'm off-site. This really helps me to just kind of review my material without having to bring all my folios.
Right. And then if you have a group of educators that you like to work with on Facebook or Twitter or Google Plus, or what is this?
That is just another sharing.
Private message. Oh, okay, cool. But
and if you go
various
back all the way to the
mechanisms of
left,
sharing.
if you have a blog or if you have Moodle or something, you can actually grab the embed code and it embeds beautifully in a website.
So let's try it. So if I go to TLA 651
or you can even just do one note. Yeah, exactly.
And I could, so it's not my main Pearltree,
Correct,
it's just my TLA 651 branching piece.
Yes.
And if I go and grab this source, bum, bum, bum. All right, and then this is going to help me pick the size. Moodle is not that giant, but I'm going to try picking this size, and I'm going to copy it, and then, do I have my Moodle up? I don't. Let me open it really quickly. But this gives you a sense of how to both have a visual that represents the coherence of your project, but also be tracking these resources. Right. So I think that that is a really good tool. I'm not going to require that you use it because I recognize that, oops, this is not my section, hold on. That the, this may not feel intuitive to everybody, so I'm not going to force you to do it. This is not an educational technology class. But if it works for you, then please connect it with me. So I'm going to turn editing on, and I'm going to look at my flipped classroom resources. That's fine. I'm going to, in my case, this is how people add things to Moodle. Right? Mm-hmm. So here's my, I'm turning on HTML, pasting that in. I don't have to mess with any of it. Save and return to course. Turn editing off. And then if I go down here, there it is.
It'll just take a minute to load. You can see it.
And then there I am. Right. So if you have a website for your school or for your workplace, that might be a really good thing for you to be able to share.
And it opens up a nice viewer if you click on one of the resources. Oh, that's empty.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So if I go developing geometric thinking, and I go to geometry and maps.
You can see It's a really cool viewer. It opens up.
So
and it doesn't
again,
open
it's not
over
its
Moodle.
own...
It's still in its
Right.
Pearltrees shell.
So it doesn't get me out of Moodle,
No.
but
Which is nice.
again, it's in that Pearltrees shell.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. I think that's probably enough for today, but I just wanted to get this information to you right away because I think it's pretty awesome. So I'm going to upload this as one of our screencasts.
Yes,
Thanks.
and I want to say one other thing.
Yeah.
As much as I love Pearltrees, this is free software, so I always say copy the URLs, the links, and paste them in a Word document too, because anything that's free and on the web
Could go out of
potentially
business.
go away.
Can I download this anyhow? Or
They do have a data dump, but
Okay.
there's really not a lot you can do with it.
Okay.
So I just tell people, keep an open Word document, throw
export?
it in there.
What happens if I export?
It's a data dump.
Okay.
Yep. So there's not a ton you can do with it right now. I did email them.
Okay.
So they're working on that, but just to kind of be aware,
Right.
I don't think anything will happen, but I would never
Right.
want anyone to lose all the research.
Good
Having
point.
been there.
And then we heard about Noodlebib and Zotero. Those are also a little bit more research purposed. So, for example, they will do things like export to APA, but it's not the same kind of visual interplay. So if you were feeling like, inspiration is really, a good way for me to organize my thinking for this class, this is going to be better than that.
And I use this for everything, all my tech tools. This is pretty much my one-stop shop now when I'm bookmarking things.
Awesome.
I love it.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Bye, guys.
Bye.